Hey guys, Geek and Seek is heading to MagicCon Vegas. That's right, myself for the third year in a row, and then also first time for Preston and Jason. The three of us, your favorite podcast hosts, are heading to MagicCon Vegas, and it is going to be a grand old time. So today, in this video, we're going to be telling you about the decks that we are taking with us. Now, I have roughly 20 commander decks. There's no way I could actually take all of those with me, so I've narrowed it down to, I think I'm going to take just 6 decks, but that's more than I've taken the last 2 years. So here's what I'm bringing, and here's why I'm bringing these. First up, we got Saheeli Radiant Creator. This is a Tamer energy / vehicles deck. I've had several energy decks before. I've had several vehicles deck before. I really liked this commander, so I just meshed them together. We're doing both. It's energy and vehicles at the same time. Let's go, electric cars. And this is my low power deck that I'm taking to the con. This is in case we have anything that we want to do that's like pre-con, power level, bracket 2, I guess is what you would say. It's probably a little bit stronger than the average pre-con, but not like stronger than all pre-con. So that's what this deck is for. It's going to be my lower tier, low power level deck for the con. Next up is my partner paired deck with Ludovic Necro Alchemist and Crom Ludovic's Opus. I have brought this deck the last 2 years to MagicCon Vegas as well, and I have to bring it again because it's a blast every single game. It's one of my favorite decks. It is forcing combat. We're playing goad stuff, a lot of incentives to attack other people, things that make it harder to attack me in general. It's a control deck, but it's an aggro-based control deck. One of my favorite decks. I had to bring it for a third year in a row. Next one is another new one. This is Daretti Scrap Savant, and in a lot of ways it's doing normal Daretti things of putting artifacts into graveyards, reanimating them, stuff like that, but the twist here is that it's mono red life gain. I wanted to build a life gain deck because I hadn't ever done it before, and I figured I had to do it on hard mode in mono red, the color that has no life gain at all. So it has to go into artifacts, doing equipment stuff, playing big like worm coil engines and stuff like that. It's a really good deck. It's technically bracket 3 because there's one game changer in here, and I think it does kind of punch up, but it's like low bracket 3, I guess. Next up is Kenrith the Return King. I brought this last year as well, and it's just one of my other favorite decks. I had to bring it again. This is Group Hug and Politics. I'm using Kenrith's abilities to make deals with people, and then also playing a lot of the Group Hug cards that you would expect in a Group Hug deck. It's probably like middle of the road as far as power level of the decks I'm taking with me. It definitely can get wins, especially if we can drag it out to the long game, but it's not a very aggressive deck. It's really just, I want to see people's decks. If you got a cool brew, I want to pull this out so that I can enable you to do your shenanigans and I can see you do your cool thing. All right, fifth, I have my strongest bracket 3 deck. This is Bruce Tarl paired with Sidar Kondo, and this is a little guy's aggro deck. Playing lots of 1 to 3 mana creatures that give incremental value. Bruce Tarl's gonna let them punch up a little bit, let me gain a little bit of life, let them hit a little harder, and then Sidar is gonna give them evasion so that even if our opponents have lots of big creatures that we theoretically can't attack into, we can still try to get in. This is technically bracket 3 because it's only got a couple game changers, but it does kind of punch up. This deck is going to be my, like, if we just want a really quick game, this being an aggro deck, it's good for a quick game, but also because it has so much protection and things like that, it can recover really quickly or survive the board wipes, and so I actually think it's probably the strongest of my bracket 3 decks. It could probably punch up into bracket 4 as well. Speaking of bracket 4, last deck I'm taking with me is Marneus Calgar. This originally was a clue deck, but I wanted to have like specifically like a bracket 4 high power deck, and so in upgrading it, it's not really a clue deck anymore. It's just kind of like a token deck in general, but a lot of that core clue investigating shenanigans are still in here, and it's a good time. It's got lots of dirtling and value and stuff like that. It's a good time, but it does have a combo in there to try to close it out if we get into like the mid to late game. So that's like my one like high-ish power deck that I'm taking with me. But those are the decks I'm taking with me and why I'm taking them with me. Let's head over to the other guys.
Hey everyone, Jason here. I'm just going to talk to you real quick about the decks that I'm bringing to MagicCon Vegas. Let me know in the comments if I don't mention a deck that you would like me to bring, and maybe I'll bring that one out there. We get some games in. So the first deck that I'm going to talk about, it's not going to take long for any of these decks. decks, but it's just Gimbal, Gremlin Prodigy. Basically, this deck is just making artifact tokens of different names so that I make a whole bunch of gremlins. And you know, there's some cool stuff in there where I play a bunch of artifacts and then I make those artifacts creatures and swing people out. It's a fun deck. It was a pre-con that I think a lot of people overlooked and some people might not think is that good, but it's a really, really good, really fun deck. The next deck I'm going to be bringing is Glarb, Calamity's Augur. This basically replaced my Tetiova deck. It's kind of like my replacement lands deck. It's not really a lands deck, but I do end up ramping quite a bit in this deck. It's a lot of fun. Really, the main thing I want to do with this deck is get all the frogs in my deck onto the battlefield. Just have an army of frogs. Turn everyone's stuff into frogs. It's going to be frogtastic. Don't unsubscribe because of the frogtastic thing. The next deck I want to talk about is Jalira, Master Polymorphist. This is definitely my most meme deck. This deck wants to do one thing, and it wants to get Stormtide Leviathan onto the battlefield, making everything islands, and then giving all my stuff flying or island walk so that my opponents can't attack and I can attack. And if, you know, for some reason that gets destroyed, my plan at that point is to lose the game. So there you go. I just gave you the cheat code on how to beat that deck. The next deck I'm going to talk about is the Ur-Dragon. This is a deck that I've talked about a lot. Whenever certain cards come out, you'll often hear me say, oh, that would be really good in Ur-Dragon. Pretty self-explanatory, pretty simple. Play a lot of dragons, get a lot of dragons out onto the battlefield, swing people out, put stuff down for free, draw a bunch of cards, deal a bunch of damage. It's going to be just dragons doing what dragons do best. The next deck that I wanted to talk about is Thalis, Reverend Medium. This is the deck that I played in the episode where we played our favorite commanders. It still probably is my favorite commander just because I like black and white as a color combination. I like playing those cards. I think they're really strong. But then also I just have a lot of fun playing Thalis. Like, it's not uncommon that on one turn I can make 60 tokens just from playing like 4 different cards. A lot of fun, really strong deck. Pretty sure that deck has won every game that it's appeared in on the channel. Definitely one of my stronger decks. The next deck that I'm going to bring is Joyra, Weatherlight Captain. This is probably the deck that I would consider to be my most competitive deck. It definitely has a lot of the, you know, expensive cards that you would put into a CEDH deck. It's got a lot of counter spells, a lot of ways to just draw me cards, and it's fun. If I can get going, I can have 15-20 minute turns with it, and sometimes I win the game on those turns, sometimes I don't, and I waste everybody's time. But I'm hoping to upgrade it a little bit more than it already is to make it better for MagicCon. I might not even play it that much just because I don't really play competitively a whole lot, but I'm bringing it just in case. The last deck that I'm going to talk about is Shauna Purifying Blade. This is one of the newer decks that I've built in the past like year and a half. It's slowly becoming one of my favorite decks. I really love it. I would say it's already one of my favorite decks. Even if I don't win, I always have a good time when I'm playing this deck. I play a lot of cards in it that I don't necessarily see a lot of other people play. Yeah, it's almost kind of like fair life gain. You know, I don't have ways to gain like hundreds or thousands of life on one turn. I have to build up to that point. And then just being able to have a bunch of mana to dump into its ability to draw a bunch of cards. That's all I want to do, really. I want to, you know, hit people, gain some life, draw some cards, probably find a win, maybe not. So yeah, those are the decks that I'm going to be bringing. I might bring one more, but if I didn't say a deck that you want to see me bring to MagicCon, let me know in the comments, and I'll see if I can pack that into my suitcase. See you at the con, everybody.
Hey guys, it's Preston here. This is going to be my first time ever going to a MagicCon, and I'm super excited to see everyone. I was originally going to bring all my decks with me, but I decided that wasn't the best idea. Too much of a hassle. What if I lose them all? So I decided instead I'd bring about 12 decks that I would swap around every day while I'm at the con. First up, we have Judith, Carnage Connoisseur. This deck is all about casting a bunch of instants and sorceries, getting a bunch of treasures, and then dealing a ton of damage to all my opponents. Next up, we have Benny Brack's Zoologist. This is just a pretty simple mono-white token deck. I want to cast a bunch of enchantments, cast a bunch of creatures, make a bunch of tokens, draw a lot of cards, and try to win the game. Next up, we have Gashoth, Sun's Avatar. This is my dinosaur deck. Get a bunch of big creatures out, smack out all my opponents with a ton of damage with my big guys, and have a good time. To bring a little more power into the mix, I'm going to be bringing my Light Paws Emperor's Voice deck. If you know anything about Light Paws, it's a super strong deck. Bring out a bunch of aura enchantments onto Light Paws, make it really big really fast, and then beat everyone out with commander damage. Next up, we have Trostani, Selesnia's Voice. This is my life gain deck. I gain life whenever my creatures enter based on their toughness, so I want to play a bunch of big creatures, gain a ton of life. There's some token shenanigans. It's a pretty good time. Next up, we have a bit of a mean one. This is Avacyn, Angel of Hope, and this deck is all about casting Avacyn and eventually trying to find my Equipment World Slayer. It's a 5-cost equipment that equips for 5, and when the equipped creature deals combat damage to another player, you destroy all other permanents besides World Slayer. But with my Commander Avacyn out, I protect all my stuff, blow up all my opponent's stuff, and it doesn't take too much longer to win the game from there. Next up, we have Lotho, Corrupt Sheriff, and the companion Luris of the Dream Den. This is a Little Creatures Matter sacrifice deck, so I want to bring out my creatures, sacrifice them, do some nasty stuff to my opponents, and then get them back for cheap. Now we're on to Strong, the Brutus Thespian. This is the deck all about bringing out my commander Strong, getting him really big with a bunch of fight spells, and fighting all my opponent's creatures, and trying to do some fun green self-mill stuff. Here we have my Sliver Overlord deck. If you've ever seen a Sliver deck, does what all those decks want to do. Get out all my Slivers, give them all a bunch of nasty abilities with each other, and try to overrun my opponents. Next up is Aesi, Tire of Gaia Strait. This is a typical Simic landfall deck. Play as many lands as I can in a single turn, draw a bunch of cards, and make a board so huge none of my opponents can do a thing to stop it. Second to last, we have my Krenko Mob Boss deck. This is a goblin deck that wants to put out as many as possible, as quickly as possible, deal a ton of damage really quickly, and hopefully end the game before people can start messing with my board too much. And last, but certainly not least, we have my Gyruda, Doom of the Depths deck. This deck wants to bring out my commander, make a bunch of clone copies of it, get his ETB trigger a bunch of times, mill everyone out, and have some big scary stuff on the board if that mill plan doesn't work out. And that's all of my decks. Super excited again to see everyone there at MagicCon. Feel free to come up and request a certain deck if you want to. I'm more than happy to oblige, and I'll see you guys there.
Thanks for watching. I hope you guys are excited for MagicCon Vegas. If you can make it, feel free to come say hi to us. Let's jam a game. If you want to play with any of us, we'll be around all day, all 3 days of the con. So we hope to see you there, jam some games, whatnot. If you want to know more about any of these decks, let us know in the comments. We'll make some deck techs for them. I have another one of our recent deck techs here on screen. And if you want to hear more about the con, in case you can't make it yourself, make sure you subscribe so that you can see our vlog when it comes out here in a couple weeks. See you guys later.